Thousands of immigrants are being deported in the UK as I speak. The UK Home Office has taken into action to sweep out immigrants from the UK. Everyone is affected. Those who are on the care visa, those who are on the skilled worker visa, those who are on the study visa, and even those on the visit visa. I mean, this doesn't come as a shock to me, as I know someday this would eventually happen. A lot of people are of the opinion that the new government in the UK are more stricter in terms of their immigration policy, which is the Labour Party. The Labour Party right now has aimed to have the highest amount of removal of immigrants from the country. That is their aim, and that is the new reality right now in the UK. Just last week, I heard of a family, 3 of them who were deported back to Africa. 2 of these families were on the care worker visa, 1 of them on the study visa. However, would I be blaming the UK government for this their deportation? Totally, I would say the fault is on these people who were deported. Firstly, you know, when you come here in the UK, maybe with a BOTUS, or you come here with a care visa and your company's license is revoked, the UK Home Office would give you a grace of 60 days to leave the UK. This said family, the 2 of them who were on the care visa, were given 60 days to either find a new sponsorship, get a new COS, or leave the UK. But they did not adhere to it. They tried looking for another sponsorship, but they were not successful, so they still remain in the UK. After their 60 days, they were still here. They became illegal, working in illegal means, what we call dagbo, using a forged paper, a forged document to still work in agencies, in companies. And you know one thing about the UK, like I do say, there's nothing hidden under the sun. So this family were working illegal. Their excuse is that they've been here for the past 2 years. They have children with them, and they're going to go back home to nothing after selling their properties. So they refuse to go back home. They remained here, working, hustling through forged means. And guys, I would rather go back to my country, if it was me, with a lot of pride on my shoulder and on my head, that to be tossed back home just like a chicken. And you know, when it comes to deportation, it means you are returning back home with nothing. Let's say you were caught at your workplace. From where you were caught working illegally is where you would be sent back home. So the UK Home Office right now is giving several warning to those who must have received 60 days later to leave the UK but are not listening to that. I mean, I've had so many people come up to me who had maybe just 10 days left on their 60 days notice, just 15 days left from their 60 days notice, and they will come to me thinking I can perform a miracle or something. I do tell these people, my dear brother, my dear sister, if you've tried thus far and at this point you can't get a COS, you don't even have the money to maybe give to a solicitor, to an immigration lawyer to help you file for appeal or extension to stay in the UK, please pack your bag, pack your children, pack your spouse, go back home. But you know, people like to do what is in their mind. I mean, I've been in this UK for years now. I know what is happening. I've already told you guys that nothing can be hidden here. Nothing. I feel like the UK has one of the most watched system. They have agents around, people around, watching the day-to-day life of their residents, of people living within the country. So how dare you stay in after your 60 days to become illegal and you think you won't be fished out? I mean, just few days ago in South London, the immigration raided a particular car wash filled with immigrants. Most of these immigrants who are now living illegally in the UK, mostly in England, in London, Manchester, Liverpool, are those who are Nigerians. Yes, their name was stated boldly on television, on the news. The UK government has said that these Nigerians people who came here either with a skilled worker visa, care worker visa, or the visit visa are now refusing to go back home. Those who are Pakistan, those who are Turkey, they mentioned Iraq and Albania. These 5 countries right now are now being closely watched. So if you're a citizen from these countries mentioned, you are from Nigeria, you are from Turkey, Albania, Pakistan, you are from Iraq, and you've refused to go back home after your paper expired, I'm sorry to say you are endangering your life, you are endangering yourself. This government that we have now is a no joke government, is a no smiling government. They are in for serious business. I always say to you all, it's better to do the right thing and come in and have maybe take a lot of delay, take a lot of time moving into the UK. But you are coming in with peace of mind than for you to look for the shorter ways, quicker ways. You don't have patience. You just want to come in hurriedly. You sell your property, you sell your car. I mean, which same person would wake up in the morning, sell off their properties in Nigeria, sell off their cars and house in Nigeria to come into the UK? Do you think the UK is a bed of roses? I've been in this country for years and I can tell you for a fact, I don't even have up to £15,000 in my account as I speak to you. So you will rally around back in Nigeria, you will rally around, go and get loans from the bank, selling all that you have to move into the UK that you're not sure of what would happen to you. Now you see the kind of names you guys are giving to us. You see the kind of names you guys are giving to us, tarnishing our identities. Imagine Nigerian now. I'm really particular about Nigeria because I'm in Nigeria. Imagine Nigerians now were mentioned. We're mentioned on the news to see, well, now here living illegally, mostly those who came to the UK recently, about a year and 2 years ago. I know it's easy for me to say go back home if you don't get a job, but I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. You may argue with me to say Clara is not like that. Clara is not as we talk. Clara, oh, how can I just go back home to nothing? I don't even have a single apartment to my name anymore in Nigeria. But is it not better for you to go home where you still have a lot of cultural support, brotherly support, people that can even try and accommodate you, people that can even try, to still welcome you back home, than for you to be here in the UK, sleeping under a bridge or the other, sleeping in a bus or the other, because here in the UK, every man for themselves. Most of you must have heard this. This land is a survival of the fittest, especially for we migrants. It's the survival of the fittest, and I say this. But the good thing which I'm happy of now in regards of this all breaking news, this update of immigrants being deported in the UK is that not only are these immigrants being deported, but the companies are also being persecuted. That is, these companies who falsely sold this US to these vulnerable people are persecuted. These companies also hiring them illegally are persecuted. I mean, over 250 companies as I speak have been closed in the UK, have been persecuted in the UK with a fine of £45,000 to be paid. That I'm happy of, because formerly I feel like only these immigrants, only these vulnerable people were the ones suffering this whole issue, were the ones suffering this whole illegal visa, illegal means forged visa. They were suffering it, because I still believe, I still stand that some of these people who were told to buy this COS actually doesn't know that it was illegal until they moved to the UK. So why were they only suffering it? But thank God for this new government, as even the companies are not being persecuted, closed, not to operate anymore, and not only being closed but to pay the sum of £45,000. Guys, just take a look at this video of immigrants all around a car workshop in South London, working illegally with no paper. How can you work in a broad daylight with no paper, with a forged document? People used to do, I used to hear of story that people used to do it years ago, maybe donkey years ago. But the world every day advance in technology. The Home Office now have watchdog put in place to see this. Any red alert, they take into action right now. So please, this video is a warning to you all. I can't even count how many of you I've spoken with. I don't have you in my head, I don't have your names in my brain, but I know I've spoken with a lot of you. I mean, amongst every African countries, only Nigerians were mentioned. Why? I'm not even talking about the other countries that we mentioned. Turkey, Albania, Iraq, Pakistan that we mentioned. Because I don't really relate with them. But I'm more passionate about my own people, about my own brothers and sisters. I've heard of people who left the UK too. They left the UK after the 60 days. And with God being faithful, while they were home, they got another sponsorship to move to the UK. So leaving sometimes is not a bad idea. Yes, you heard me right. Leaving sometimes is not a bad idea. As you don't know if the grass would even be greener for you in the other side. And those on the study visa too now, you have been called. Yes, you guys have been called. Most especially you guys who maybe you finish your study, you don't have money for postgraduate visa. You think you are wise in your own sense, in your own wisdom. You started working illegally in the UK. Abba. There's a set rule in a country, and I believe anyone who is moving into this country, be it you are Caucasian, be it you are white, you are African, black, or whatever, come into the country and adhere to their rules. That is why it is put in place. It is put in place for everyone. The government are not senseless to say that, okay, this law is existing, but because it's existing, we don't want you to follow it. Of course, they put that law there for you to follow it. So if after your study, you don't get a sponsorship, the next law is for you to get a postgraduate visa. If you don't have that money, go back home. I mean, there's a particular YouTuber who talk of moving back, or she moved back home. I don't want to mention her name here. She moved back on after the study visa because she couldn't get a job. But after a year, she came back to the UK with a sponsored visa. So moving back is not a bad idea. And for those whose COS has been revoked, withdrawn, you don't have nothing to fall back to in the UK. And you have 14 days left. You think a miracle will just happen like that? You have 15 days left, 10 days left. A miracle will just happen like that. Even me, if I'm here in the UK, I want to switch a job. I want to work in another place. It takes me sometimes months, weeks to get another job. Even though I'm a citizen in this country, it takes me months, weeks to start working elsewhere. Because application doesn't mean I'm going to get a job. Either interview means I'm going to get a job. Please, let's all adhere. That is why the citizens, the residents are rioting. That is why you see the riots everywhere. They're saying immigrants must go. Immigrants must go. Why would they riot when we self don't behave? Why would they riot? Abba. Let's do better, guys. Let's do better. I'm going to be leaving the article in the description box of this video. Please read it for yourself. This is not a cook-up story. This is real. This is the reality. Read it for yourself. Illegal immigrants. Either you've been here in the UK for the past 2 years, legally working, but unfortunately you become illegal. You don't have any paper. Even for a day, you're classified as illegal. For those who have been given the 60 days to leave, and you still have your 60 days intact, you still have it intact, do the needful. Start looking for another job. If you want my help, you can come to me. I'm ready to help you. If you want my help, you can reach me on my Instagram. You can reach me via my email. I will try and connect you with some employers, agencies I know personally, I speak with, and send them your CV so that they can call you for interview. And if they call you for interview, you don't pass the interview, that is still your business. It's not because I, Clara, connected you with them, meaning they will hire you. You still have your own role to play in all of this. Let God be our help at the end of the day. Please, guys, like this video and share this video to everyone you know who are in the UK so they will stay updated. This is a serious matter. No joke. This is really a serious matter.